I would like to introduce Martina Pavone, who is a professional trainer, a consultant, a coach. She's experienced in international business environments, nonprofits. She has a slew of organizations that she's worked with, educational institutions, etc. And we're very happy to have her as part of our Here We Are Global Volunteer Network also. Her main focuses are communication, leadership, group behavior, change management, diversity and inclusion. So obviously she's a very talented woman, and we're so happy to be able to have her host our first event of 2021. So I hand over to you, Martina. I know that you also have Elena, who's going to be helping you. So I'll just transfer over the stop sharing so you guys can share. That is it for me. Thank you again, everybody. If there are questions, you can always put them in the chat, and I'll maybe also be looking out if Elena will be helping, but I can also help put a Q in front of a question maybe, and we'll be just monitoring the chat. And just also so you're aware, not only will we be taking pictures, but also this recording is, this session is also being recorded for those who aren't able to join today. So good to see you. Over to you, Martina. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Very nice introduction. And by the way, if there's no Here We Are something in your country, you may create it exactly like Anna, Dafa, and Caroline are creating exactly the Istanbul one. So this is also a very good possibility. So we are starting officially. So welcome to this session. I don't need to introduce myself because Caroline did it enough, and you can find a lot of information on internet about me, so let's not lose time on that. Let me just give you one word about this event. Is in collaboration also with our academy. Elena is my business partner, so I'm happy to introduce you to her, and she's hello, waving. So what I wanted to tell you very, very, very quickly, so then we go to the point. Elena, next. Yes, just give you an idea of what we are. That our name is Officina della Meraviglia. The website is called like this, and Officina, it means something like a kind of I couldn't find a perfect word for it, but kind of a garage, as a workshop, as something like this. A mix of the two. And meraviglia means like it's very similar to French. It's wonder. Okay, so that's why you find in many of my contents the concept of being wonderful. And so many people are texting me privately, Martina, I love your project, but you know, wonderful is with one L. You are misspelling. Okay, it's clear that my English is not that perfect, but guys, I name a brand, I'm sure that my version of wonderful is with 2 L's. So my concept is about being full of wonder. So it's everything based on this philosophy. And while we are going to work, you're going to see what I mean with it. Just 2 words about the projects you will find under what we do. One of them is what you are inside now. So the WonderFULLacademy is based on online platform. It's an online platform, and that gives trainings of very different types and focuses, also in collaboration with other trainers and so. And then we have the corporate part. It's specific for companies. Then we have the Wonderful Women project that is all based on women empowerment, that goes from campaigns, social campaigns, but also projects with schools. There are many things under it, and that's it. Let's go on. There is just one of them that is not mentioned here because we are creating the international version of it. That is Capatosta. Capatosta is another Italian name, but the thing is that it's basically special journeys and packages for female, little and medium female entrepreneurs. And what we are going to do today is actually it's the beginning, it's the introduction of what we do with these entrepreneurs, actually. So you are going to get the taste out of it. Okay, enough talking about this boring part. Yeah, you can find me and Elena, who are going to lead also the session. Those are some of the topics that we usually touch, but there are so many more. Let's go on. Now, let's go to the core of it. I would like to ask you just 1 second to, if you don't have it, because I see that some of you don't have the camera open your camera, and let's have a little shot, a little photo of our version before reinventing ourselves. So we're going to have it also at the end, and let's see what our energy, what changed inside of us. Oh, Siga, yeah, so many people that I didn't see before. Can you see the magic of photos? Okay, so guys and girls, what's the position for the before me, the before reinventing myself me? Choose your position because it's going to be your statement. My position is going to be the photo one, so it's not going to be very inspiring. Yeah, I love it. So thank you, Elena. We can go back to that. So reinventing yourself. What do we mean with reinventing yourself? Let's just align ourselves to be sure that we all mean the same thing. We can think about it in a way of, yes, thank you. Yeah, it's exactly going. So inventing again, because somehow it's already starting from something. Discover a new hat, we say, a new costume, a new version of yourself, or a new strategy, like I like to call it, a new strategy that stays in your power zone. Then we're going to talk what I mean with power zone. Or adapt, because especially for people who are expats or are in international environments, this is going to be very important. Adapt to different points of views. We are recreating with a different interpretation. And now what I'm going to present to you today is a kind of a formula, okay? It's a kind of what I want to give you, a kind of a method, a formula. We are gonna taste it in a short version. What I suggest you to do is that take again the formula I gave you and then do it with calm, taking your time. So today we are just going to work through keywords because we don't have the time to go and feel everything we're going to do with your flow of consciousness, keeping your time and following your rhythm. It's not really possible. So we're going to do what we can do in the time we have. So we're going to work with keywords. That's why we told you to bring a paper, at least one paper with you. If you didn't yet, yeah, find something to write on, okay? If you are a person very creative, you love colors, you can use whatever you want. But for me, even the minimalistic version of it is going to be enough. I'm going to show you some very simple example of what we are going to need, but very, very easy. So in order to give you as much as I can, I'm going to be a bit fast. But because we are recording, you have the opportunity to actually follow it again if you lost some important points, or use the chat to ask also to others if you lost some words, or to ask to me. Anyway, at the end, I'm going to answer the questions, okay? So don't worry about it. Now, let's start from the motivation. As you can see, there is written here in the slide, internal and external. So why shall we reinvent ourselves? Sometimes the motivation starts from the inside. Sometimes you feel like a need of reinventing yourself. It could be like, I feel like I'm in the life of someone else. I don't know if any of you ever felt like that. Like, how come I'm doing this job? I'm living in this place. I live with this person. How did it happen? Where was I? What happened there? I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, but somehow there are these kind of feelings that are making us feel like, okay, today I woke up and I realized that I feel a need to reinvent myself. Because wow, I have the opportunity to do that. When it's not internal, it can be external. And especially in this moment of our life that we are all sharing in very similar ways, this could be, for example, a perfect example. There is something bigger than us that somehow is pushing some of us, because depending on what we are doing, some of us to reinvent ourselves. So other could be like something related to maybe a crisis, or I lost my job, or I'm divorcing, or, you know, external factors that may actually impact your choice of, I have to reinvent myself somehow. Okay. Let me give you some examples. For example, we had very simple in Italy, like for 4, 5, even 6 months, hairdresser couldn't work. Can you imagine? You know, a woman that has her own shop, she's very proud of her hair studio, and she couldn't do it anymore because she couldn't touch anybody. I mean, the rules were different than, for example, here in Turkey. But the thing is that if you think about how she reinvented herself, we found some good tools, some good ideas on how to use this as an opportunity. We're going to work on the situation later, so you understand these examples actually, they were based on what. There are other examples, an IT manager who now is finally, she chose a different life and now she's developing social project for children, or a woman who has an herbal shop and she didn't change completely her life, but she changed her way to approach her job because of external factors. So there are many different formulas that we may apply. Just a note, there be a version of yourself where you have a bit of internal and a bit of external motivation. That's also a possibility. Okay, so the first thing I suggest you to do is put a click. Where are you right now? Internal, external, or kind of in the middle? Okay, this is our first point that we need to work on for our self-assessment, let's say, under the reinventing yourself. Okay, let's go on. Now we need to understand in what kind of reinventing you need. Okay, sometimes, like we did in the examples before, I told you this IT manager changed completely her life because she felt like trapped in her life. Okay, so she's the type of starting from zero. She needed to follow her call, her mission, her passions. Actually, I should use the proper word here, her ikigai, but we're going to talk later what's the ikigai about. Sometimes you may be in the new roads, okay, in the middle one, because you actually like what you're doing, or anyway, you want to continue what you are doing. You just need to find new ways of doing it. It can be because you need, in terms of business development, but also in terms of there are things happening right now that are also affecting my career. So then I need to find a different way. If that is an obstacle, I'm going to find a different way. I'm going to find new opportunities, etc., etc. Okay, this could be another type of need of reinventing yourself. And then there is the last one, the multipotentiality one, because there are some people who are who have a mindset, their own way of being, it's being a multipotential. There are different ways of being a multipotential. Today we're not going to talk especially on multipotentiality, but it's important to mention that many of us may represent that section. For example, I represent that. But in this case, what I mean in this section is the specific part of multipotentiality called the serial one. Those people who constantly, like every 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, they start something, they do a project, but they really feel the need then to take it, put it in a corner and starting something else completely. This is being a serial, you know. So in their life, in the last 10, 15 years, they actually did completely different things in different fields, different projects. They just start things, they study, they go very deep, they dive into it as much as they can, but then they leave it there because for them it's enough and they start something different. So this was just one of the way of being a multipotential. Okay, so second click for us. You decided before what was your motivation, internal, external, or mix of the two. Now try to understand where you find yourself or where you may find yourself, because maybe you're learning this, you're following this as, okay, I take this box of tools and I keep it with me when I will need it. Maybe you don't have a rush right now to reinvent yourself. Anyway, you will have clear that there are different ways of doing it. Let's go on. Our third point is the part when we start the work. So where are your papers? Take the biggest one that you have. The first thing we're going to do is our internal journey. Everything is going to be like a, Elena, we can stop the sharing part right now so I see everybody. Okay, so the first thing you do, you put a cross in your paper, okay? So you will have 4 sections here, okay? Now I'm going to tell you what are the titles of each section under this. We're going to write a bit, so try to follow me at the same time, okay? So the first section is called Me by Now. It doesn't matter where you put them, so you don't need to follow the same order, whatever you want. The second section is my deep self. Then we have my limiting beliefs. Caroline is already smiling about it. One of our favorite parts, right? And then we have the last one, who actually we are gonna divide it in 3 columns. Can you see? Let me put the lights in the proper way. Okay, so other 2 lines here in order to have 3 columns inside of the 4th quadrant. Can I say quadrant? Did I just make up the word? Monisha gave me the yes, so.
You made it up, but we understood, so.
I love it.
That's the thing.
I'm gonna do it more and more, so.
Please do.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you now what are these 3 parts, okay, that we just created. The first column is gonna be my potential. In the second one, we are gonna put ikigai. For now, just I'm gonna write in the chat how to write it, in case you don't have any idea. Okay, ikigai. And the third one is gonna, oh, you're gonna kill me for this. You need to divide it again into, it's gonna be half and half of the column. And you're gonna have one section is gonna be bring to the next level, and then experiment. Okay? Now that I made up the word, I'm gonna be consistent in using it and more. So at least, you know, I'm building a character, not for nothing. So I use some clouds in the part of the limiting beliefs. It kind of helped me sometimes to have very simple graphic way of working, but you can do whatever you want. You may just do a kind of a list of points. I don't care. Okay. Now, don't be scared. It looks like a lot of work. Oh my God, when are we gonna do this? But as I told you, today we are just gonna experiment it just through keywords. Then when you have time, you're gonna do it again. You take all the space you need and you're gonna write whatever you want, okay? Now, let's go over all of them one by one, okay? So I'm going back to this part called Me By Now. Now I'm gonna give you 10 words, really pure words, that you are gonna, basically you're gonna appoint some points to it. You're gonna give some votes from 0 to 100, a kind of a percentage of, I like to call it a photography of the now. That's why Me By Now, not in general or ideally. Now, in this moment of your life, these words, these areas of your life, what kind of vote would you give it to it? As for now, that part, I give it a 64%. So according to your own system of evaluation, okay? There is not right or wrong. Whatever you feel like, that's my number right now. Some of you may already know this, because usually when we have time, this is the kind of work we do with the Wheel of Life. I'm telling for the ones that they actually know what I mean. This is a good combination of different tools. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you how I use these tools combined together. Especially, I like to call this method the Sherlock Holmes method, because we are gonna bring at the end all the points, and I'm gonna teach you how I made up the thing of how to combine them to find the answers and then start eventually your process, okay? That's the thing of what we are doing here right now. So the 10 words, let's do it very fast. First, I give you all the 10 words, then I give you 2 minutes to give your points. Okay, so we have career, health, finances, free time and fun, environment, community, family and friends, partner and love, growth and learning.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
Slow down.
whoa.
Just one second. Family and friends. You lost me.
No problem, no problem. So I go back a bit. Environment, community, family and friends, partner and love, growth and learning, and spirituality. Let me close the WhatsApp.
Thank you. I can't write that quickly.
No problem. Okay, so.
Excuse me, Martina, can you repeat? I lost the beginning. I'm not sure about
No problem. Career. In the meantime that I repeat, start putting your points down. Career, health, Caroline. Super Caroline. She's writing in the chat to help you. Career, health, finances, free time and fun, environment, community, family and friends, partner and love, growth and learning, and spirituality. They should be 10, so you can check if you have all of them.
Would you mind qualifying what you mean by environment?
Yes, especially compared to the community. So when I mean environment, I start from the circle around you. So the room you are, in the house you are, in that apartment, in that area of the city, in that country, you know, the neighborhood, everything that if you zoom out, it becomes bigger and bigger. So in terms of ambient, okay, that kind of environment. But you keep out the people out of it because there is a specific part for it that is community. Okay?
Martina, sorry. Since there is someone who joined just now, could you please just, it's Galaxy J6 Plus, I think it's not his name, but...
I'm sure it's not. Hello, welcome. You need to open your microphone. I see you're talking, but I cannot hear you.
Sorry, this is Alberto. I couldn't name change Galaxy 6 Plus. It's the
No
first
problem.
time that I enter Zoom, sorry.
I'll do it.
Oh, wow, that's an honor. You entered on Zoom for us for the first time.
And very sorry for the delay, really. I was busy with something else here. I'm sorry.
No problem. Just for you not to lose anything else we are doing, we are working on the paper. We are analyzing 4 different quadrants. Okay, so
Yeah.
It doesn't matter now where you're going to write it. You can even use 1 page for each. Now we are voting in the chat. You can see that Caroline wrote career, health, finance, fun, these words. We are giving a vote from 0 to 100. Now,
I don't see, sorry, where can I see them?
the chat, you need to find the chat.
I need to find the chat. Wait a second. I am
No problem,
really...
no problem. You can check it out. In the meantime, I'm going to go on.
Okay.
Elena, you can text him privately, maybe?
Yes, I did it now. He's checking, I think. So.
Perfect. So you can take care of him while we go on. Okay. Can you give me a sign if you did your work? Do you like
To me?
dancing? No, all the others,
Sorry,
but you.
sorry.
In the meantime, Alberto, you can close your microphone.
Okay.
Thank you. No, okay, perfect. Thank you. I see the signals from everybody else. Okay. On this part, just because you are very good and you're very fast on it, I suggest you to choose 3 of them as your priorities. Just a note, just because they are the lowest points you are giving, you shouldn't give for granted they are going to be your priorities in terms of growth. Maybe, I don't know, maybe spirituality right now for me, maybe it's at 21% on 100. Yes, but maybe for me now it's not a priority. I'm going to work on it maybe later. Right now I feel like, I don't know, maybe my career, even if it's at, I don't know, 57, it's actually a priority for me because I need to transform it as soon as possible into an 80 and 90. Okay, so there are no rules on how to judge that. What are the 3 priorities for you right now? those numbers which you want to grow somehow, what you want to focus on. Okay? This is a photography of your present. Again, it's very important. It's not ideal. It's not what you think about this part of life which is more important. This is something different. Let's go on. I'm not going to ask you the results of this because it's not really important, the part of sharing. This is personal for you. We're going to interact more in the other sections, okay? Let's go on to the part called My Deep Self, okay? Wherever you wrote it, let's focus on that. Now I'm going to give you 5 questions inside of this. You need to answer just with maximum 3 keywords. It can be even 1, it doesn't matter, but maximum 3. Again, just for this section, when you privately do it, you use whatever you want. So the first question of the 5 are, who I am, and use 3 words that are gonna represent that. If you don't find them, because 3, oh my God, I cannot find 3, don't stress. Use 1, use 2, that's okay. Let's go on. Second question, who I want to become. And become may mean tomorrow or in 10 years. It doesn't matter. The first 3 words that come to your mind, use those. We are gonna trust our spontaneity.
Martina, I have a question, sorry.
Sure, please.
Is it supposed to be something like, I want to be an entrepreneur? Are you asking more for, I want to be a compassionate human being? Like, what exactly are you looking for? Could it be
generally, I will tell you either of them, because it depends on what is really here right now for you, because it's, you know, what is pumping right now. So you may, technically, you may say the career part of it, it's more important right now. But if there's something that's really pumping for you right now, it's like, it means that it's actually important. So if one of these 3 words is actually more talking about the kind of person you want to become, there is a reason why that word is there. So I will suggest to follow it and write it down. So we are going to use that element. Very good question, thank you. So the first one was who I am, then we did who I want to become, because again, we are just making a very summarized version of this method, but when you will have the time, you will probably write a lot of words about who you want to become. In the longer version, you work on the vision of yourself 30 years later. I mean, there is a lot of work we may do on that, but for now, we need to do step by step. The third question is core values. Again, I'm sure there are so many values important for you in your life, but for now, let's just focus on 3, maximum 3. I know that it's like I'm asking you the most difficult philosophical questions of life in 2 seconds. But for now, we are going to try to trust our spontaneity. Whatever comes to our mind, like a pop-up, you know, like in the computer. There is a reason why that thought is there. Let's write it down. And it's perfect, so we see how the method works. Because we are kind of trying to create an algorithm. Ooh, Corrado, did you hear me? I used the word algorithm. You're going to be proud of me.
I hear and I'm proud.
Like a very creepy voice coming from. Did we do it? Did we do it? Let's go on. Then we have what I like. Please use this part very general in life. Like, I like gardening. Maybe you said, why? What is the connection here? Don't worry. Actually, there are many connections. So very general. What do you like the most? Use those information. Probably for some of you, even choosing 3 out of 100, it's a difficult part of it. For others, it may be like 3. I don't know where to start. I don't have 3. That's okay. All of them are also okay. And also all the people in the middle. And the last one is what I desire or dream about. Okay, now I leave you a couple of minutes to wrap up all the section. The quadrant, because this is the word of the day. I hope that Alberto found a way to follow. Yes, he's giving a sign. Very good. It's working.
Yeah, we are writing each other.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. I see very concentrated faces. I love it. Again, when you're done, give us a signal. Okay, in the meantime, who has never done the Wheel of Life? So the first section when we were voting on the areas of life was the first time for you. Oh, interesting. Ah, I didn't, oh, I imagined way less. Oh, wow. Okay, that was unexpected. Cool. Okay, just for, this is a very short version of it. Usually there is a lot of work to do on it. But as a suggestion, I use this on my life like every 6 months as a kind of a check-in, because it's very dynamic. It goes very fast and it changes everything, especially in terms of priority. Then, apart from this method of reinventing, I'm giving time to who is still writing. You can use it to actually write some tasks and little goals under every section. So this could also be a very simple thing that you can do by yourself. You don't need a coach to do that part of it. Sure, Caroline, for sure. You actually probably using it way more than me. So I actually imagine. Oh, Tara, yeah, definitely Tara uses, yeah. Yes. Most of us as coach use this too. It doesn't matter what kind of method or philosophy of coaching we follow, but those are the things that we kind of all have in common. Okay, I think from the faces we are all done somehow. So just one comment from someone who has never done the Wheel of Life. Do you want to comment on it? Was it easy to give points? Was it hard? Did you find out something? Did you have an aha moment somehow? Do you want to share something? Let's hear one of you. And open your microphone in case you want to talk.
I can go, Martina.
Yes, please.
So I'm always like, I love self-improvement, but I've never known how to do it in a systematic way. And I love that this gives some categories by which to prioritize and assign points. So I didn't necessarily find it hard to assign points to it, but I like that it broke it down into these 10 categories. So like you said, I think it's great that you can use that as a starting point to write tasks and update periodically.
Absolutely,
very helpful.
yes. I agree with you. That's the thing that I actually use, not just for this quadrant, but for the entire workshop, actually for our entire work. This is how we work. We use a lot of systematic kind of working and a lot of visual, because it helps the people. All the self-improvement part, it's an enormous umbrella and thousands of different philosophies and method and approaches and everything. Everything is cool, but it can be so much, how can I tell you, gassy. You know what, can I use the word gassy? You know, it's all in the air. And sometimes it's like, yes, but I'm a person that needs tools, schemes, you know, structures and this kind of things, and this usually helps. Okay, can I have a comment, someone who wants to share the 3 words that you use to define who you are right now? So let's see how you chose your words. Someone else. Then we can always use Monisha in case nobody else talks, but
I mean, I can share, Martina. Those were the first 3
Yes.
words, right? Okay, so
yes, who I am in the other section. Yeah.
I'm not sure if those make sense, but this is how I see myself after many years.
Okay. Okay.
Fighter, hustler, and survivor.
I love it. Wow.
It's
They
I don't know.
are all very, very strong words.
It's something that I will define myself from, I'd say, I don't know, from elementary school until today, you know, something that if I have to choose the 3 words that will describe me, not at the moment, but made me to be who I am today, I will choose these 3.
I really like it. So they are all adjectives.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't, I mean, it was fast. The first
No.
3 that came on my mind.
There is not right or wrong, okay? I'm just
Okay.
trying to analyze for everybody how naturally, spontaneously she approached it. But that doesn't mean that all of you had to choose some adjectives, for example. Did we have someone else who didn't use adjectives or a kind of a mixed version of it? Did you find different kind of words that you used? Dafa did.
Yes, me. I have chosen a woman, mother, and sister.
Oh, very interesting. So she chose roles. Very interesting also, this kind of approach. Again, attention, this is not wrong. This is just an interesting starting point. When you have time, you actually go through it. Oh, also Lisa is saying.
Hi, Martina. It's Christina.
Hello, Christina.
Myself because I'm not.
That's why I was like,
I am not presentable. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I've been too busy, so I'm still in my PJ. Well, I wanted to say that the first word that came into my mind I'm a beautiful soul, just generally.
Okay, I like it, like a statement. Yes, why not? That's also very possible. I like for you to reflect on why that part came out from you immediately. Then you can use as an exercise, I didn't write the roles. For example, Bartola didn't write the roles of her life like Dafa did. Okay, take inspiration from each other. Dafa can actually try to find the adjectives then. Mm-hmm. You know, when you have time to go deeper. Yeah. Or the statements like Christina did. That's also okay. Okay, that's a very nice diversity in the approach. I like it. I'm sorry that I go a bit fast, but we have to. So someone who wants to share about who you want to become. How did you approach this question and this answer? Someone else who didn't talk? Yes, please. Hello.
So who I want to become, I wrote a poet, creator, writer.
Very nice. They are all very, I don't know, kind of, I have the sensation like dreamy words, like they are full of magic. I don't know. I had that sensation while you were, maybe it's also because how you told them, but very nice, very nice. And those kind of words are kind of, we may say, roles that she wants to become, but somehow they also are part of the way of being. It's not just a poet as a job, you know. That's probably some interesting thinking to do, to go deep in this. Why a poet? What does she mean? What does represent for her, etc., etc. Is there any connection to the other words that she chose? Are they separated? Are they already in a kind of a time schedule? Can they be at the same time? Are they going to be part of the same vision or not? There is a lot of thinking that we may do on every point we are going to find out, okay? I'm using all of you as examples for others to see how you can do this work by yourself, okay? So someone who chose their values. let's hear some nice values around. What did you choose? Lisa.
I chose learning, earning, and fulfillment.
Beautiful. Very nice. You may use this to whatever you do, you write it everywhere, and then, oh, they propose me a new project. Let me check. Would it be comparable? Would it be okay? Would it be in harmony with them? A kind of a, you know, they all stay with you. Or like inspiration, like you write it in your agenda together with your to-do notes. Or you use it as a vision and you try to write some positive affirmations or just empowering affirmations that are going to motivate you and inspire. It depends what you need. It depends what you need. Somehow they are just strategy tools. Somehow they can be inspirational tools. You will decide how to use it. I'm saying out of this context of the method. Then at the end, I tell you how to use it in here. And then the what I like part, who tells me, because this may be very general kind of question, what I like, right? So how did you approach it? And it's general on purpose.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Sarah, yes, sure.
Okay, I said I like groups, independence, and I like wine. Well, that's what I
Very
put
good,
in
very
mine.
good. Yes, 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 very diverse. I love it, I love it. Okay, this is very good, yes, because it's on purpose that general, so your mind may give you different kind of information. Then we are going to find a way to connect that. Very good, nice. And let's hear about some desires and dream. I feel a bit like Lucifer. What do you really desire? Did you see that? Did you watch that? Come on, if you didn't watch that, Lucifer, you have to make up for it.
Martina.
Yes, Anna.
I put creativity, futurism, and technology.
Wow, I love it. She used concept. Oh, very interesting. Okay, very good. She used concepts. Okay, she wants to somehow make these things part of her life. I like it, but I'm sure that someone else approached it differently, right? Did you write something related to roles? Like, I don't want to help. Did you approach it in a different way? Do we have any examples?
I did, I think.
Yeah.
I wrote, be myself, dare, and understand.
Very nice, interesting. Very I really like it. Okay. Okay. Let's go on. So we have more and more information to then do the puzzle we need to do. So let's be a bit fast on this next session that it's a bit full. We answer to it while I give you the questions, okay, immediately, so we don't lose time. So the first column of the potential part, the 3 parts column, okay, I'm there. The first column has 5 mini questions, okay? Write very little, so you have the space to answer, but with just 1 word, 2, maximum 3 words. We are not writing sentences. When I was a child, so child, they were complimenting you or you were good at what? So you can write child, for example, and history, if history was what you were good at. And then immediately next, teenager, same. So let's say until the 18, 19, 20s, let's say. In that phase of our life, again, you were good at what? It shouldn't be mandatory a subject, a school subject. It could be also at moderating discussions, socializing. I was good at imagining things in my head, whatever it is, it's going to be acceptable. So number 3, don't think too much. The first thing that comes to your mind, write it down. First was the child, second was the teen. The third one is generally now in my adult life, they say about me, okay? They say about me that I'm energetic, I'm sympathetic, I'm organized, I'm inspiring, I'm boring. Don't use negative words. I'm joking. Don't use negative words. We don't have time. We don't have interest in going through that. We are just checking on compliments right now. Generally, they say about me.
Martina, this is my potential part, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are still in the first column of the potential part. Yes. Thank you for clarifying it. Are we done? Very good. Don't be scared about the last two questions. So the next one is, if you had 1 year of holiday, what would you do? Again, you write 1, 2, or maximum 3 words. So you may just say travel with my partner, or just read, just sleep, just whatever it comes. Sleeping for 1 year, that's recharging. And then the last one, it's a bit of a creepy question, but it comes with interesting information. If I had 1 year life left, 1 year of life left, how would I use it? What would I do in that? Again, 1, 2, or 3 words, not more. Okay, many of you finished. Some are still finishing. Okay. Give me a signal. Are we following? I know I'm making you work a lot today, yeah? I know. But you're going to be happy when you find the sense out of it, I promise. So the next column was the Ikigai, right? Ikigai is an enormous topic. It's an enormous journey that we also systematized somehow, but it's impossible for me to put it completely under this. So we will use just the first phase of Ikigai. So the meaning of the first 4 circles are, 1 is what I love. Put 1, 2, or 3 maximum words. There are 4 of them in matter of space, so you know how to use your space. 1 is what I love. What I love in general. By the way, even when we teach Ikigai, we use this reinventing yourself as an introduction for that, because it's very important. Then we have what I'm good at. Organizing, teaching, make other people shine, programming, whatever it is. I'm good at that. One thing, 2 things, 3 things. And then we have what I can be paid for. Not potentially, right now, until now. So I have proofs that there is someone who can pay me for something. So it may be the thing that you're not mad about. Yeah, they actually pay me to teach English, not me, definitely not me, but just an example. Or, but maybe it's not the love of my life, I mean, right? Etc. Okay? So we had what I love, what I'm good at, we had what I can be paid for, and then we have the last one, that what the world needs. Of course, the world, especially right now, needs many, many things. You're just going to write what that part that you care more about, basically. You care the most. So you may say it needs kindness, it needs equality, it needs whatever it comes to your mind. Give me a signal if you're okay. Again, even 1 word is okay. Yeah. I'm happy that Alberto is perfectly on flow with all the others. Very good. Okay, nice. Then we have the last column of that section, right? We are gonna use maybe just one of the two. It depends on you. I'm just gonna explain you how it works. The first part is what I can bring to the next level. Okay, I'm gonna explain you what it means. And the next one is experimenting. So what do I need with what I can bring to the next level? Somehow you may have parallel activities or projects, or maybe a hobby or something you are doing. Maybe you just started. I started checking how to cook vegan things, for example, right? This may be one of the things you may bring at the next level. This is a Japanese technique, let's say, that it's part of the Ikigai method. So they are saying something very smart. Instead of thinking big, because just thinking, transform your passion in your job, it's very generic, it's very less systematic, and it's not that simple. So there are so many other factors that we need to take in consideration. But this is going very simple. It says one step at a time. So let's just start with something you have, maybe laterally for an NGO as a volunteer. I'm thinking about Lisa, you're taking care of social media for someone. But if we ask to Lisa, are you a specialized social media manager? She actually is not, but she's very good in what she does in this part. If she may need to reinvent herself, or she will want to invent herself, I'm just using her as an example, that could be something she may just take one step forward. What could she do? Maybe find a professional certification, study with the course of someone, have a mentoring with someone who already does the job. Or, this could be very simple actions that may bring her to the next level on this specific activity. Okay? Sometimes we know how we want to reinvent ourselves, where to start from, but don't give for granted that this is for everybody. I had many people who arrived there desperate. I need to reinvent myself. Okay, let's do it. Where do we start? And they look at me, I don't have any idea. Sometimes it can be the situation. So that's why we start from very simple things that are in your life, and maybe you give for granted, and you will say, yes, but how can I transform that in something professional? At the beginning, it looks like impossible, but it actually is not. If it's so many things that it's better if I bring them. Understand how they can bring it to the next level.
Oh, I can share.
Yes, please.
I'm really good at, I think, I'm really good at writing. So I could do something with that.
Cool. Do you already have an idea on what could be the next level we were saying, the one step?
No, I don't. I just thought of it.
Okay. Now we are talking with the audience. Audience, you are all becoming consultants right now. Let's brainstorm. Open your microphones. Put out ideas. We don't know anything about Sarah, so of course we are going to be very general, okay, in our comments. But ideas, come on. Creative session, how she can bring to the next level the writing. Okay, I start with very simple things. There are a lot of mock, you know, that kind of Coursera or whatever other university, free learnings about writing. There are many. And also maybe not completely free, but with a bit of paying. For example, from Udemy, that is still very affordable. Then, of course, through universities, there are also the less affordable ones, but very, very cool curriculums. You may check some courses. There are so many good materials around. Other ideas?
She can design the cover page of the book to get motivated.
Wow, very good. I like it. Starting from there. Very good. Another one.
So writing.
One by one, like Corrado.
Oh, okay. I don't know what she means by writing. It could be long form, but also short form. So if it's, for example, copywriting, why not volunteer for an organization that is looking for help?
Very good.
Burku and Caroline raised their hand, so.
Burku, I think it's Burju.
Burju, sorry.
Thank you, no problem.
Sorry, I'm learning.
No problem, thank you very much. I think writing needs to develop some habits. So whatever the content is, just to write every day, like 5 minutes, and then increase it to half an hour to make it a habit. Then it will flow sometime.
Very good.
You can write and throw it away, but after some time, I think it gets accelerated.
Very good point.
The ideas are flowing through.
Like a personal challenge. Start with a personal challenge to get into the discipline of it. Very good.
Yeah.
Another one that Caroline wanted to talk. Yes.
I was going to say find a support group.
Alberto,
go ahead.
One second, Alberto. One second, Alberto. We have Caroline.
Just
okay, first.
Share what she's writing to someone to get feedbacks.
Yeah. Okay.
Immediately, because just to see if he's able to transfer what she wants, or it's just a mere exercise. I don't know.
Absolutely, yes. Very good. Start with what you have and already start taking some feedbacks. Great. Caroline, what you wanted to say?
Yeah, two things. One is find a support.
Microphone.
Sorry, I thought I pressed it. Finding support. So there's plenty of either Facebook groups or writers support type of networks that meet. The other thing is just to try. So even use LinkedIn, you can publish articles and just trying and jumping in the deep end of putting excerpts of whatever it is you're trying to create out there already, right?
Very good. Nice. Can you imagine, Sarah, if I will go on this, you will have like thousands of ideas in 3 minutes. Yeah, very good. This is the approach. I also know that it's very easy to find ideas on this when it's for someone else, but you have to do it for yourself right now. So after the session, you focus a bit, you stay there. If you couldn't get idea, you may use, I think, our group, right? Caroline, Anna, Tafa, maybe they can also write and we can brainstorm together if they are stuck. Okay, I thought about bringing this to the next level, but I don't know how. I just got that idea. Okay, we can help you. Let's go on experimenting. We don't need to share about experimenting. It's just like start that thing you always wanted to do or start something new. You know, there is a coaching tool called 10 minutes. Every day for at least 10 minutes, you will start something, you will try something new, minimum for 1 month. And then minimum 10 minutes, it could be, of course, longer. You challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, basically. And thanks to be so not in your comfort zone, you will find more things, not just more things that you will like and love. Some of the activities may become part of your profession as tools or as focus, it depends, but you will learn a lot about yourself because you will see how you will react in different situations. So sometimes, especially if you are stuck, that's the best thing to do. Freeze everything else and just try new things and see what is going to happen for you. Just help me to understand. We finished that section, right? The potential part. We finished the me by now. We finished the deep self, right? let's just write one limiting belief. Now, maybe not everybody have an idea what can be a limiting belief. You may think it in this way, that we could talk thousands of sessions just on this topic because it's a very huge thing. And probably also the most important one and also the hardest thing to deal with it, if I have to be honest. But let's start from the basics. So in order to interpret life, what do? We create a kind of a personal frame, our kind of glasses. And with this kind of invisible glasses, we look at reality and we interpret it in our own way. Based on what? Based on our experience, our knowledge, our education, and everything together. So this is giving us just one point of view on things. And in order also somehow to go further and to have something sure that builds our routine and builds our comfort zone, we make kind of statements that are going to make us feel a bit better. Like, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating now, but I grew up thinking that rich people, very rich people, are sad people. Because maybe my parents were saying this in the past, and somehow this becomes part of me, and I don't realize while I grow up that kind of statement is actually really giving a shape and shaping everything I do, all the actions, all the decisions I make in my life, all the decisions I don't make in my life. So somehow I find myself boycotting myself. So why are they limiting? Because they are limiting myself in somehow. I'm using a very exaggerating and kind of a cliche example, but I think it gives you the idea of what can be. The thing is that because they are limiting beliefs, it's not that clear to us to actually realize that we have them. We just have like, okay, people who always come late in meeting are because, so they are part of, somehow they are judgments, somehow they are, sometimes even cliché and stereotypes can also be part of this big area of limiting beliefs. Sometimes they are big statements about ourselves, even in a positive way. So even thinking like in my group, I'm the one who makes the glue among everybody, At the first time, it's very cool. Yeah, everybody is saying, oh, I'm happy that Martina is there. She's going to make everybody feel comfortable. She's gonna be the one who makes the joke. And she's going to bring other people because she's friends with everybody. And the third and the fourth and the fifth times, this becomes a limiting thing, don't you think? On how? First, on other people who are never going to actually engage in a different way because they know that there's that person who is going to do the job. So they are not opening some parts of themselves, but it's also limiting for the person. So Martina may feel the responsibility all the time to go on with this role. And maybe that day she's not exactly with that energy, and I cannot do it. I'm a human. I cannot be always that person. So I'm giving just some examples on how statement can be limiting you somehow. So whatever things you are very sure of yourself of, try to challenge it. Is it always like this? Has to be always like this? Or maybe, okay, sometimes it can be like this. But limiting beliefs are blocking so many opportunities in our mindset. There are many books about this topic, and it's basically one of the biggest focus of every coach I know in this world. So you can find the right person for you to work on if it's something you need help on. But it's definitely the thing that I suggest you the most. So because if you think in terms of happiness, success, or whatever, what is blocking you? Our limiting beliefs are blocking us. So it's worth it to give a bit of time on it. For now, it's enough for me if you even write one of them. So a simple thing could be, Corrado, for example, we worked together so many years. For so much time, I said, oh, I'm such a disaster with technology. I really can't do anything with technology. And for many years, I limited myself because I always needed someone. Actually, I always needed Corrado, basically. but the thing, and I started calling him Google, like I don't know something, let's ask to Google. He knows all the answers. But I understood that in order for me to create my own professional life, I needed to take things in my hand. For so many years, I limited myself. Actually, he actually helped me. He taught me so many tools that I'm still using in my professional life. And now I became a kind of a mini, I say mini because let's not exaggerate with the nerdy part of it, a mini geek, because all my life is digital right now. And I work through so many software, so many tools that are combined together. All my work has to be shared with Elena, that we work in different countries and we need to make it work. So this limited me, and it's a perfect example, for so many years. And I thought it was even auto-ironic, you know, I was like, even having fun of it. In places I was saying, yeah, no, don't ask me, I'm just a disaster with that. Yes, but I was actually hurting myself. Okay, I think I gave you an idea what are limiting beliefs, at least at the surface of it, right? Okay. Oh, I know, it's 2:15 and we've already done so much and I talked definitely too much, but we need the last part. It's very important. So you go to another paper or the back of it, I don't know, it doesn't matter. This is faster, don't worry. I just need you to divide it in 3 columns, okay? What we are doing here is that for now, we focused on ourselves, right? Everything was connected to ourselves. My present myself, my potential, my limiting beliefs, my deep parts of it. But now the thing is that it doesn't work if we are not connected to the world, and especially to the actual world, to the world right now in the present. We need to make these decisions according, when we do it in the business, no? According to the target. So we need to observe what the target is right now, what the target needs right now, because otherwise it doesn't work. Maybe we are doing an amazing, beautiful project that actually it's amazing, but now people don't have the time, the priority, even the space, the mental space to even think about that. So in this page, we have 3 columns. First one is called my obstacles, mine, okay? So my personal obstacles. The second is external situation. And the third one is called risks. This third one, we leave it there because it's actually something you're going to do at the end as a kind of a test to the thing you're going to come up with. If you come up with an idea, then you're going to work on the risk part of it. Yeah, thank you very much, Elena. We are exactly here. So the first part is obstacles, and it's my personal obstacles. What can you write in there? For example, you may say, I have limited times because maybe I also have to take care of the house, of 4 children, and another part-time job that actually pays my bills. Okay, that's something we need to take in consideration. We cannot ignore these important parts. Or maybe you're a single mother. I had an example of a single mother who really wanted to open this business connected with a blog, going around and tell stories about places she was going to. But she was saying, I'm a single mother. What am I going to do with my girl? And so we created this project where actually she was not the only storyteller of the project. She and her girl were the storyteller of this project. She cannot, I mean, if there's no one else, she has to be part of it, or you need to do something different. So we need to use what are things that now you see as obstacles and see if under them or beneath them somehow there is an opportunity behind it. Can I transform any of these obstacles in some kind of opportunities for my new reinvented self, like this woman did, for example? I know we pass a lot of time complaining. Yeah, but I have this, but I cannot do that, but I'm not capable of doing that. That's okay. Write all of these personal problems you have, and then really analyzing them one by one. Again, with a creative brainstorming. If you cannot do it yourself, you write in the group, we help you to do it. How can I actually turn it into an opportunity? What are the opportunities behind it that I cannot see myself right now? It's so hard doing the work yourself on yourself. So I completely feel that. I saw some comments that I missed before. Yes, Caroline, yes, absolutely. Next column was the external situation. What are you going to write in there? You're going to write the difficulties, but attention, also the needs that are coming from the outside. So you be very good at Sherlock Holmes kind of mindset, observing, empathizing. What do people need right now? My business idea, yeah, it may be the best and the coolest thing ever, but there are people who lost their jobs, they don't have money to pay bills, they lost their beloved ones. Maybe your target is still very good and you don't have any problems about that. I don't know, it doesn't matter right now, but maybe not, because things are changing and they are changing very fast because of external factors. So how can I pivot those difficulties in opportunity? Exactly. Okay, so the lockdown can be, maybe I was working with tourism. Yeah, for example, that's actually part of my job. Part of my job was actually providing trainings from people coming from the Afghanistan area and around those countries. They were coming, having trainings and tourism at the same time. And I don't know, it has been more than 1 year, they cannot do that. So this is exactly a situation like that. I just want to make a comment on this while you write down some ideas. Actually, the real innovation starts exactly from here. There are people, I don't know if you are very good with the social media, because through LinkedIn or to Twitter especially, and through different kind of blogs and programs and influencers you may follow in this period, there are people who are already moving on this wave. They already started the strategy on observing what is changing and understanding what will be the professions that are going to be more needed, especially when this emergent situation will finish. Because when everything will finish, we will not go back exactly where we were, because we are not that world anymore. We are not those people anymore. So those people are the real innovators. But I'm telling you, there is still time. We are still in that phase. I think that if someone comes up with some ideas in the next 6 months, it's still going to be very on point. So you may try really to observe, what do people need? And if you don't have any idea by yourself, ask them. Interview people, ask, how is it going? What do you need right now? Very general. Don't even talk about your job or what you can give. You just get information and then you analyze them. And then you will see if you can do something for it. Okay, and then I repeat, the last part was risk, but it's going to help us just at the end. We are going to write it as part of a strategy, as part of an action plan, just in case you already arrive with some ideas in your hands. Maybe you're not ready to arrive already with an idea. You just need the process, and maybe you need the process to go longer. This is also a possibility. We are not all the same. We are not all starting from a starting point. So I cannot promise you this. The personal rhythm is very important. We all need to follow that without rushing it. Okay, Elena, we can go back to our presentation, because now we finished the filling part, okay? The hardest part of the job. You can take a breath. Congratulations, you did a very hard job. Thank you for following me right until now. Now I'm gonna tell you how to use this information. Okay, there are some tools. It's very hard, yes. Yes, Ellen, I'm not gonna tell them about the case history. I gave some examples to them in the meantime, but you can find it in the presentation later. You can read them. Yes, here. Those are the tools that I'm gonna give you right now. Now you wrote down things. What can you do? First phase, you go back and you analyze the keywords you used, like we did before very shortly. But what are the keywords that I see here? maybe I see some patterns. If you find any patterns that, for example, you wrote in 2 or 3 different places, things related to education. Okay, maybe not exactly the same word, but different shades of that keyword. Then you will color them and say, okay, this, and this. And I start with my first post-it, education. It looks like an important topic for me. You may find, this is not mandatory, for some of you, you may find a fil rouge. If you don't know what is a fil rouge, it's this kind of, it comes to me in Turkish. How can I say fil rouge in a different way? Dafa, help me. Is Dafa still there? Let me open this so I see everybody.
Yes, I'm here, but I know fil rouge, I don't know in English.
That is it, right? Because it's more of a concept. So it's a kind of a red line that may connect all of your points together. But it's not mandatory. Again, it happens also in Ikigai. For some people, there is one word, one concept, one project that keeps everything under it. For some other people, it's more of maybe 2 or 3 different fil rouge, because you are maybe a multi-potential, you have a different kind of a mindset, and that's also okay. Okay, so I don't want you to feel stressed about the fact, I don't have a fil rouge, what is wrong with me? Don't worry, maybe that's not your case. Okay, so somehow you will find keywords, especially when you're gonna write a bit more instead of just using the keywords we did. If you have your flow of consciousness, then you're gonna analyze and say, okay, it looks like for me it's very important to independency, education, and having a social impact, and maybe later you wrote down about personal development. Okay, then you have personal development, education, independency, and what was the other one? And social impact. So you need to find eventually a fil rouge, something that puts together this concept. Maybe you want to work for an organization that through educational project has a social impact on the personal development of teenagers. I don't know. Okay, this may be one of the possible combinations. Okay, because we are looking at intersections. Somehow it may become to you as a kind of a vision. Oh, I got it. That could be the project that puts together this element. Somehow it will not. So what do? You work again systematically. You will do math. So you will take one keyword here, one keyword there, one keyword there, and put the combination. You write it together like, you know, for mathematical formula. If I put together education, social impact, and I don't know, teenagers, and then what could be the project that put them together? Okay, I may focus on this. Then I take out teenager and I put inside of that combination another of my keywords, and I put together support group. Okay, if support group was very important for me, then I try the combination on that. Okay, this is very important because I don't want you to panic on that. So you may have the, again, I repeat this, the spontaneous approach, because you have a vision. Ah, yes, I saw it. These things may go together. But somehow this visioning is limited again, because we tend to see what we already kind of know, what we already have kind of in our mind. But if you use the systemic one, you may find out ideas that you didn't think about yet. And another point, you may already be inside of the profession you want to stay in, okay? But through this method, you may find little shades, little tools, little new parts of it for you to tell your story in a different way, or different tools to make you different from others that are actually doing your same kind of things. This is also a way to reinvent yourself. So I'm not trying for you to say tomorrow all together, I quit, I quit, I quit, I quit. And then whose fault is this? That Italian crazy woman who told me to reinvent myself. No, that's not my goal, guys and girls. What I want here is that for you to have a kind of a box of tools that you may put there in the corner in case one day you will need it, or to use it if that day is today, or to use it just to make better the journey you are already into in right now. Okay, so find the different shades or different way to tell what you actually do, or to differentiate yourself from the others, because in this kind of market this is also something, right? Just in this group, how many coaches are we? But we are very different from each other. That's the beautiful thing of it. And the more we work with this kind of thinking, the more we are going to differentiate ourselves. Okay? I hope you are with me until this point. I'm sorry, but it's incredibly hot here because we have the general system, and it's like, why do they keep it that high? I really don't know. For me, it's like, anyway, I think I still have one thing I want to tell you, and then I would like to listen to people. Do I still have time? Do I?
Half an hour. Yes. Very good, Martina, very good.
I'm usually way worse on timing, right? No, but I'm doing it. So I want to leave you with something else. So what I'm trying to tell you is, first, you fill out this like if it was a form, right? Now you did it in a fast way, but then you can take your time and do it better and deeper. Then you are going to analyze it, finding the keywords, the intersections, the combinations, eventually even a fil rouge if there is more than one. Then what can you do, especially in order to integrate this process, or especially if you are kind of stuck somehow and not everything is coming together in the way that you would like, because you may feel a bit unsatisfied and you will say like, there's something's not clicking there. I have some gaps and I'm still not satisfied. So what I suggest is continuous learning, like I love to say, personal blooming. Find your way of doing that. You may say, but I've studied all my life, but I always, then find a different way then. Because that's something, especially break a routine, break a way of doing and do it in a different way. If you read a lot of books, then go with podcast. If you already work with a coach or a consultant, then do group something that it's training, but it's in group. So maybe you need more work that compares with others, take inspiration from others, or find a school, it doesn't matter, but challenge yourself, especially if you're in a moment of, I have a need to reinvent myself. Then I suggest to declutter. So I'm sure you're familiar with the decluttering method. So the point is, apart from the decluttering the house as Marie Kondo kind of method, that is still very cool and very good. I love to do it. Me and Bartola actually kind of did it recently because we moved house. We didn't have a choice, but we had to declutter, right? But what I need here is more generic on our life. In order to put in new things, we need to create space. Somehow we don't know how to bring new things in our life, make some changes, because we are too full. You know, like a computer, the hardware is full, no way. And it's saying the cloud is full, you need to update, it's full. That's exactly the same. Somehow we don't realize this. You want to bring in more, you need to create space. So you may need to say some no or some goodbyes. I don't know, you need to find a way, but you need to create space. Because otherwise, mentally, you don't have the space to make this combination. You don't have the space to focus on that change. Because changing and transforming yourself and your life is one of the hardest things we can do. I'm not going to lie about that. It's so comfortable staying where we are, even if we're suffering. It's technically way easier to stay there. It takes so much work, courage, and time and energy to actually get out of it and say, okay, I need to transform my life myself. I need to reinvent. And that's why I come with the third point. It's very important to have a big support group. Not big, but strong. support group. And with support group, in that case, I mean, first of all, beloved and close people. If they are on board with you during this time of change and transformation, it's going to be way easier. If nobody is actually really on board with that, they are actually looking at you like, why are you trying to do that? That's going to cost you a lot of energy also. So find someone you can rely on in this transitional moment. But that the support group, for sure, it's also about finding new circles. And here we are. It's a perfect example of that, because also of people you don't actually know, like you don't have the biggest intimacy of. But for example, even in our WhatsApp group of networking among the area of Turkey, we are very supportive to each other. We are discussing about giving inspiration to each other and things, you know, that's also part of something important. Right now, we are supporting each other. So get yourself in new circles of people changes a lot. Your mindset, your networks, your learning. So things may start to click together in the right place, even from differentiating your environment. And then for sure, like every of us as coach, we are always saying journaling, it helps a lot. Again, you may go back and read some of your journaling and find keywords, patterns, and you may put together with the rest of your analysis. Meditation in the sense of creating space, breathe, and listen yourself and your needs, not in the spirituality way of doing, then that is up to you. I just keep the practice as a very important self-improvement tool. Because sometimes the answers are not exactly in the first floor, but you need to dive deeper. So then you need to give a bit of space to yourself. Say, okay, I have the luxury to stay silent and listen to myself for 10 minutes. I'm a superwoman, but sometimes I even can do that because we know that sometimes we don't allow ourselves to do that because we're busy, because priorities are others and blah, blah, blah. But still, then if we are not okay 100% with ourselves, nothing else will work. And then self-love. In that moment of transition, find something at least once a week. I would love to say once a day, but I have to be honest, I also cannot do it once a day. I cannot afford it. But at least once a week, that moment, that action, that nice thing of self-love, if it's a bath, whatever, a cake, a chocolate cake, or whatever it is for you, that's self-love, find a way of doing it. Appreciate and celebrate the little steps you took, even saying, okay, at least I'm starting to think about it. I don't really have some answers, but I'm in the process. Maybe my mind needs to take it in with a bit more time before passing to action. Maybe I see Monisha tomorrow is already starting everything because maybe she's like this, but maybe I'm a bit different than her. I need to take in and breathe it one by one and say, okay, Martina, you can do it. But step by step, don't be panic about every kind of action. We are different and that's okay. And for sure, we also said it before for some other things, feedback. Feedback about the little steps. If you have a way to confront yourself with others, it's gonna make the process way faster and also more efficient and smarter, if I have to be honest. But it really helps to have someone who can give you feedback for sure, like in any other kind of job. Okay, people, the boring part is finished. Now I want to give space to you. I don't know if someone already has some questions.
There was a question before, and now I can interrupt you. Hila asked about something more about We Love Life, I think. Hila, I'm going to, yes, she confirms.
1 second. The Wheel of Life.
Yes, if where can she find something more about it?
Okay, Hila, I'm writing a note to myself to send you materials about the wheel, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't be shy. Martina, stop talking.
No, you know what happened? I think someone is at the door. I have to open it because I'm the only one.
Go, don't
I'm
worry.
coming, but collect the next question.
Yes, I'm here for that. Don't be shy, don't be shy. Use this 20 minutes. Okay, Sarah is asking about, okay, the wheel of life. I think it's the same thing, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, did you hear?
No,
Martina,
Wheel
okay.
of Life. Wheel of Life, I heard.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Sarah and Hila want the information about the Wheel of Life. Okay.
You can add me to that list too, Chrissy. I would love to.
Chrissy, yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Also, if I forgot or I don't find contacts to send things to, you have the permission to stalk me, please. Push me.
Hila is going to go. So bye, Hila. Thank you so much.
Martina, thank you very much for this great session. As a coach, I'm familiar with this type of self-work, but I'm impressed with the structure. And I realized that at some points, I really had a difficulty to answer the questions. So I have to work more on these questions, I think.
Please try and let me know how it goes. I will suggest you to before going into the work again, take a step back.
Yes.
And first think why it was difficult, because it may be for different reasons.
Yeah.
Because they may look like very banal sometimes and very superficial or general kind of questions. But is it more because of the moment you are right now? Or some
I think
questions?
it's because of where I am now, right now.
Okay. Very good point then. So take your time, and maybe the flow of consciousness kind of style will be better for you right now instead of the keywords.
Okay.
Just whatever comes to your mind, make it even long. Whatever it comes to you, write long, write in the language you prefer. Sometimes also helps.
Yeah, but it was great. Thank you.
I'm happy. Lucky. I actually thought about that. We may have some and many trainers and coaches also in the session, but the point was exactly the combination of the tools and the approach to it.
Yes,
even if there are tools that you already know. Whatever you want to say, even if they are not questions, as Billy did, you can share.
Don't worry, using the chat. You can talk now. Don't use the chat.
Yeah. Absolutely. You may even say, you know what, I don't feel like it's the right moment for me to do this because I feel this or that, or I'm not convinced, or I have whatever you feel right now, feel free to share. Yes, please.
This is Pishen. I have a comment/question to my limiting belief.
Yes.
I thought about it, and I have one that I want to throw out to the group and just get your opinion on that, and also your belief. So I have this limiting belief that everything is quid pro quo or transactional. What is it in for me, and what is it in for the other person? And that's a limiting thing because it's hard for me to approach people and ask for help. Like, I have problems with it. What do you think about this? And why would they want to spend time and effort talking to me if I have nothing to pay back? That's always been my limiting approach, like belief actually. So throwing out in a group, like, why would you want to help me as a stranger in achieving my fullest potential? You understand the question?
Beautiful point. It's a very rich point, actually. There are so many things we may say here. The first thing I want to throw out there is this. If I was you, I was going to analyze this a bit more. Like, when usually I feel like this, after what, where am I? Is it because I talk to someone, or, I mean, I connect this feeling exactly to what, where, how, what kind of color, sensation, and shape has this kind of feeling. I mean, I will go through a bit to know a bit more about this feeling, first of all, to understand it more. The second thing I will do, somehow it sounds to me a bit of imposter syndrome. I don't know if you ever heard about it. I'm sure that many of you did. And it comes a lot to multipotential people and to entrepreneurs, especially to people who are actually helping other people. It's kind of absurd, but it actually comes a lot. So we question ourselves a lot. I mean, am I kind of an imposter and I help people to do things? And I mean, who am I to do that? Why should people come to me? And you know, this kind of constant little voices inside of us, the inner critic kind of following us like a stalker. So this may be something to dive into. You may find thousands of articles around it, there are books around it, or you may work with the coach on this imposter syndrome. And in the meantime, because we in this part we are in an open session, someone else has an idea, wants to help her. So don't let me talk alone all the time.
I do have a bit of experience I think I can share, because I used to feel a lot like that, and sometimes it still happens. So I used to think the same, but I also noticed that a lot of people helped me over the years. A lot of people that I did not have anything to do to give back, because they were too good, at least in their area where they helped me. So I was thinking, what can I give back? And the reality is that people do help you out. And the way I approached it, and I think I resolved it, is that I don't believe in payback anymore, because many times you cannot really pay back. Well, if you can, great, do it, but many times you can't. So when you can't, you don't pay back, you pay forward. You help someone else in return. And when they tell you the same thing, because they will tell you, I have nothing to pay you back with, you will just say, it's fine, pay forward, give it to someone else, just make it circular.
Very nice, thank you for this one. I will also add that what actually helps me a lot is, again, systematically, because I may say like at least once a year, work a bit on myself, sometimes with another coach doing it for me, on my self-confidence, because also it's also a dynamic process. It's not because I worked on it 5-10 years ago, then okay, I'm done, or you know what, especially in this kind of professions. Sometimes I still doubt myself on many things, but it's always a process, it's always a learning, and I try to push myself to do better. But sometimes I need to remind myself, what are my strong points? What are my strengths? Then of course, it's okay to focus on what I can do better. Okay, or what I can delegate in things that I am not good at. For example, I do this kind of work, but as you can see, I have a business partner, because I work better like this, because she completes me. We give the best to ourselves when we combine this. And this is part of this process. That's why I'm telling you, because I know my strengths, but I also know that I can focus on my strengths if I work with Elena. Otherwise, I find myself, you know, swimming in all of the rest of the things that I should do, part of my profession, that I don't do like I'm supposed to. So sometimes remind myself, what is my voice? What's my, can I say, the value proposal in me? Like, but I know that these are my strengths. This is what makes me different. And again, remind me, and this connects perfectly to the first session we actually had with Kate, to my why. Because if I have a strong why, if it's part of my mission doing this kind of things, I'm going to remind myself before even reminding others why I'm there and why I'm doing this. And sometimes, yes, I completely agree with Corrado. Sometimes ask to others. Okay, maybe I'm in a moment that I need some feedback, I need some comfort, I need some help from others. And don't be scared to actually do it.
Can I include something or
Yes,
say
you
something
can.
about that? Pei, your question is actually quite deep, and actually I felt the same way before. And throughout the years, I learned that it was related to fear and neglect from my past. So it might be a bit more psychological. Maybe you want to think about when in your past you felt neglected, maybe when you needed help, or maybe you saw somebody who didn't give help to someone. That could actually be a key point there. And then just lose your expectations to, if you help someone and they don't, it's okay. That's no problem at all. Eventually somebody is going to help you. And it was said by Corrado, I think it's the same thing. Just don't expect help, because when you help, you shouldn't actually expect help. You have to give it, that's it. Well,
Thank you, Sarah. And for sure, you can use what we said before about the limiting beliefs. So whenever you have this kind of thinking, you can ask, what is this? First of all, is this limiting me somehow? And how? So what am I missing when I actually follow through and I really focus on this belief? And then you may think like, where is this limiting beliefs coming from? Because this is also connected to our inner critic, and there is so much work to do on the inner critic. Is the inner critic completely coming to me, or is it a voice coming from the summary of my authoritative figure in my life? Could be parents, educators, mentors, whatever. So there is a lot of detox, so I like to call it like this, to do to have a kind of a good friendship with our inner critic, because many of our limiting beliefs are coming from the inner critic. And also you need to be careful to something. These limiting beliefs, many times, they are actually looking like beautiful and shining things that you are, kind of a slogan about yourself. I'm very good at this. I'm the best and doing what? For sure, I'm doing this and that in that way. Sometimes they don't really look like something negative at all. That's also why it's tricky sometimes. And we don't understand that they are part of the reasons that we are boycotting ourselves. Maybe from the outside, it's a bit clearer because it's easy to look from the outside. But this also can be, oh, Burcu, we see you. Hi, hello.
I wanted to just answer and add to that. And it's a very normal thing. All of us have our inner critics. They just look different in different ways, right? We all have that inner voice, that inner judgment. And it's very normal to feel that way. It's just how you choose to relate to it. So one exercise that I have is really to imagine it almost like a cartoon character and to distance yourself from it. So think of it in any shape or form that you want. Take some time to name that voice. And what would you like to say to that voice? Right now, I'm not needing you, or I need you to quiet down. And that way of sort of taking control of that inner voice, although it sounds quite simple, it can be very powerful. And when you hear that come up, it's about that awareness, right? So then being like, oh, I have one client, he calls his one of his inner critic the heckler. Oh, there's the heckler again, right? So separating yourself from it, you aren't that, so distancing it and maybe trying that as an exercise might be an idea. But really asking yourself, is it true what that voice is telling me? What do I know? What do I not know? And I know you have a lot to give, Patient. I know you very well. You have a lot to share in this world. So I send you a virtual hug.
I would like to know, is there someone in this group right now who wants to or needs to reinvent themselves from zero, or just finding new roads, whatever? Is there someone who is actually going to do the job very soon? So finding a new way of doing what you're already doing, or trying to find what you can do from zero. Is it as a kind of a new way, a new life, a new job, a new career, whatever? Sarah,
Well,
please.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump in. I have started to change somehow. I'm attending university at my age, and I'm very happy with it actually. And I had an obstacle. I believe that before I couldn't do it, and I am actually doing that. And if things work out, I'm actually thinking about medical school, which I have no idea how I'm going to afford. But anyway, so I think I have started to recreate myself in ways that I actually didn't know I actually could change or find something else I like. And thinking about it after starting my university or studying again, I remember that in the past, I used to love, when I was a kid, I used to have this chemistry set, and I used to play with it a lot. And that just went away. And I just found it now, and this is the new thing I'm doing for myself.
Very cool. So you're actually starting to click your Ikigai. That's what's happening right now. Very good. So let me know if you go through the algorithm again from the beginning, taking your time, of course. Let me know if you can find the combinations, the intersections, and if you find other possible ways, possible ideas.
Okay.
Let me know if it's going to work.
Okay. Thank you, Martina.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think we can make our last photo.
Yeah, I want to see
the final one.
What's your face after reinventing yourself?
Burcu would like to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Burcu, please.
No problem. I think we are running out of time, so I will be quick. I had imposter syndrome, and I realized it's actually later after I quit my job and so on. I know I'm very good at what I'm doing at job, and then at some point I just have own suspicion. Is it really right? Do I have to learn more? Then I look for some other trainings and so develop myself. But actually, what I'm doing is enough for the job that I'm doing and so on. Then I am at the moment in the pendulum to say that will I do my own job or will I go to a normal employer relationship with a company? And I'm actually in job search right now and meeting with a lot of companies. I'm trying to be myself, but it's not so. I don't bring too much energy because actually I don't want to tell myself because I know I will do the job good, but on the other side, I know at some point I will again say, actually, I should do my own business and be my own boss and decide everything myself. Then why am I going back to job again? The reason that I actually pull back is the family responsibilities that I have at home. I have 3 kids. So it is this pendulum. I work a little bit, then go back to home, and then I get bored and I want to work again. And so I have to reinvent the way of doing something impactful, but that combines a family life and a work life together, and that also I can realize myself so that I don't question my abilities. So I'm actually that's your words are really to the point in my situation.
Burcu, you know what? You're welcome. First of all, what I suggest you to do right now is to first of all, I mean, it's not the right moment to deal with the imposter syndrome yet. I will suggest you to enjoy the creative moment you are in. Work with this method again from the beginning, but take your time to do it. Maybe use a nice notebook that you like, starting from the beginning, and every column actually becomes a page itself. Give a lot of space to it. Work through it with analyzing colors. Use analyzing colors. Use whatever it comes to you. Then I suggest you to, because in this moment of your life, I think it's very important, you should work with the Ikigai, definitely. Because of this pendulum you're saying, you're going here, but then I should do that, but I want to realize myself, but I also have the responsibilities. I mean, how do I combine this? It's exactly what Ikigai does, take in consideration all of these things and find something that stays perfectly in the between. So, but first do this. It's going to be a good preparation to it. Then for Ikigai, you can start reading the books that are around with the Ikigai thing. Okay, you don't need to work with someone if you don't want to, you cannot afford it. You can start with the books. The only thing that the books are not actually telling is how to use it, like we were saying before, just systematically. They talk a lot about the beautiful philosophy, but they don't put it on the ground, and that makes me very angry. But that's like it is. But in case you cannot do it yourself, you text me and we can talk about it. Okay, I can try to help you. The thing is that as soon as you will find your thing that is a perfect combination of your needs right now and the world needs and your satisfaction, your passions and everything, then you can deal with the imposter syndrome. So I completely understand that now this is coming and going, and it's okay. Actually, there is also a study that says that most of women have this problem with imposter syndrome. So it's even a gender problem. So it's a bit bigger than us, So let's give it a time. Now everything at the same time is not a good idea. So say, okay, like Caroline was saying with the inner critic. Hello, imposter syndrome voice. Can you leave me a second? I need a kind of a month for myself first. I'm still reinventing myself. Then when I will have my project, then we can talk about it. Because that's the thing we were saying before, one step at a time. So especially if you're taking decisions right now, you're making, job interviews and everything, but I still hear you not completely sure about this. So try to work on this. Before making big decisions, try to listen to yourself a bit more, because you have the answers and none of us can give you the answers. So you just need to understand how to put them together. So the tools I was giving you before, exactly in there. So I wanna say something to close and to wrap up everything. So first of all, thank you for being here until the end. I know it was a very intense kind of workshop. It was not a simple talk, I know, but that's what I think people need right now. That's what I wanted to give, something very practical to you. I hope that it's gonna be useful somehow. I wanna thank very much my friends and colleagues of the Here We Are Global Turkey, how can I say, area? I don't know. Our group, our beautiful group. And again, I suggest you, if you don't have your group, to find your group somewhere in the world where you are, because this is a beautiful network. And I think we can, right, Anna? We can send them the presentation also with the recording. Is going to be available, I think, at one point when we have the time. We're going to make it available, and you have my contacts even from the invitation. So if you have some questions that you couldn't ask in the session, you can find me everywhere on internet. So I'm not running away. You can ask anything you want. I'm not going to ask you money for asking me the questions. Don't worry. I'm available for anything that comes out, because I think you're going to work a few days on it. So probably the questions are going to come up in a couple of days. You're going to sleep on it, and then you'll say, but what if in my life this happens? And then you're going to have questions probably. So I'm here for this. That's it, I think.
Photo.
Pose. What's your pose? Show me your new position.
I'm going to take it, so don't worry, Martina. Okay. So
I need to find my new pose for the reinvented version. Okay, so my reinvented version is very high.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay, done.
Thank you so much, Martina. We really appreciated all this very filled 2 hours. Thank you all so much for all this positivity, all this inspiration, and lots of food for thought. And thank you to all of you who have joined and your patience and committing 2 hours to working on yourself. I think that's already something that everybody can pat themselves on the back for and celebrate, is that just taking this time to think and learn something new and be open, right? So I really appreciate everybody showing up. And yes, we hope to see you at future events of Here We Are Global.
Thank you.
Bye.